So, welcome to, and I'm using the other camera because this thing's acting up. Welcome to the Star Wars holiday special that I did not know was no longer canon in the thing of the grand scheme, even though Lucas wanted to get it out. So, yes, because I was trying to be as faithful to it, I thought it was canon. They found out it's not. Didn't care Lucas cut it because other people said it was because there was references. Well, something is wrong. I know. I need something to feed me the cheer for the torture that I'm about to put you through, that I went through, that I'm going to talk about. I haven't watched this thing in years, so this is the first time. So, yeah, I'm going to need to change how I'm looking because I need to at least have something to give me a positivity. And it's a surprise because I told you I only had 3. So, yeah. Welcome to the holiday special, but first, time to change. Yeah. So check it. Got a little festive. Got some reds, greens. You see? And that's because it's time for the Star Wars holiday special that happened by canon right after Star Wars. I think it was only literally, I think it was only like a month, maybe 2, maybe 3, a year. We're gonna go with a year. All right, so it is a year. Haha, see? So yeah, TV special was a year after Star Wars when it came out, and that's about a safe assumption. And then it was never aired again. Now you might be wondering, what could possibly merit this to never be aired again? Well, I have a play-by-play, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, according to legend, George Lucas wants this gone. Wants every copy of it destroyed, but as you know, when it's information out there, it's out there forever. I wish it was destroyed. But there are a lot of conflicting stories about this. But onto this situation. Okay, this is going to be a rough one. But at least this is much better. It makes me feel more festive. Alright, so it opens up with you following Chewie family on Kazuki, or I think it's called Kazook. Waiting and getting to celebrate Life Day. Now, getting this, you see that Chewie is not there yet, as they're worried about the Imperials on the rise in the area, whatever Han Solo and him are flying. He's like, I'll get you there. It's definitely some stock footage from Star Wars. It's definitely a little less budgeted. And it's funny because it was like, it felt like it was like they're just doing whatever came to mind. Okay, yeah, I'm just holding off on this. Alright, so the first issue is, alright, imagine Chewbacca talking, right? Now imagine 3 or 4 of them talking extremely loudly. Now, with that, imagine all of that's going on and there's no subtitles, you have no idea what they're talking about. But it goes on for like 15 minutes. And like I said, when you see this stuff, there's literally stock footage straight from the movie. When you go to his house, it's like a matte painting. And you see them, and I think they were arguing about Life Day. So, like, they were like, and I remember Han and Chewie was like, I need to get home. I guess that's what he was saying. And they were like, you know, they're going to light speed. They're going to make it. You look in this thing. First off, let's go over the credits. So the credit says Luke Skywalker is played by Mark Hamill, right? And you see his face and stuff. And then it says R2D2 as R2D2. And I can't remember if they did C3PO. I don't think they did. But yeah, it was R2D2. And then I'm like, wait, so is R2D2 supposed to be real? Like, literally, if you watch it, it literally says R2D2 as R2D2. Like, I'm like, there is an actor that plays that. Okay, R2D2 is real. So, Kazoo, like I said, the house has a matte painting. And for some reason, now the Wookiees live in trees, similar to the Ewoks. Just, I guess, furry things in Star Wars live in trees. All right. And inside, you would think, okay, it may look kind of like how the Ewoks have it, where it's very, native, kind of like old school. You got rock tool stuff. Nah, it just looks like my boy Reggie's apartment, like legit, or his house. And I'm like, this looks like an Art Deco house. Like, what is going on here? Now you got Chewie's dad. His name is Itchy. And he has no teeth. Chewie's kid, and he's kind of young, but he has those horrifying Sonic teeth. You remember the first trailer to Sonic where he had like the crazy baby teeth? He has those kind of teeth. And, I guess Chewie being north of 180 has kid, whatever. And I can't remember the kid's name. I think it's Bumple. I'm probably wrong. I don't even care. I think it's Bumple. And I know the mom's name is like Margot something. I didn't even write their names down. Once again, you keep seeing the Wookiees talk. Malo, that's her name. I don't remember the son's name, but I remember her name is Malo, and the dad's name is Itchy. But you see them going through the thing. You see them talking, and there's nothing. And it's like, what? And it's just, the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, what did I put myself into? And these things are extremely high up. So just to let you know, one of the things that was just kind of just threw me off and out of place, the son, we're going to call him Bungle. He's tight-roping on the railing. But you can clearly see it's like stories up. So I guess his son's just crazy, or he's a daredevil. He's just whoop whoop boo-doo-doo, boop boop boo-doo-doo, boop boop boop. And I'm like, if he just slipped one time, there is no more kid. But crazy tightrope, I guess. Then you see them crying over their picture. So then the granddad kind of roughs the kid up, brings him over. Itchy does. He has a cassette. He sticks it in his machine. Then his table lights up. The table starts off with a dancer, some guy in green, but he's kind of like doing performance art. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this is happening. He looks very human inside of a costume. Looks like the Cowardly Lion if you took off all the fur and then dyed it green. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's doing these weird moves, and he gets big. So I'm like, okay. And when he gets life size, he does like one move. Then he just points at the table. Nothing else, he just points at the table. And I'm like, well, if he could have got big the whole time, why didn't you have him dancing in the room? But okay. Then you see all these like little circus acrobats and things that are just dancing. And they're like juggling and doing stuff. And this goes on for about like 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm like, why is this still going? They talked for this 15 minutes. They're doing... Oh, God, they're going to use this to try to fill up time. So this thing starts turning into a reality show, pretty much. So while he's looking for Daddy, let's see. Let me see what this part is. Oh, so they got this machine they go through because they're looking for him. They boop, 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 enters Luke and R2-D2. And Luke even says, oh, it's Chewie's family. I'm like, why are you talking so stiff? And... I'm like, okay, so they know you, and now you know Chewie's family. They say hi, but it's all in the Wookiee speak, so you still don't know what they're saying. But here's my problem with Luke and R2D2. R2D2 does something funny. They still had their awesome reaction. That is something I do love, that even the Disney, I don't care, all the Star Wars kept that relationship with them, and I think that was sweet. So I'll give them this. I'm trying to find positives. Please bear with me. But why does Luke look like a Ken doll? Like, he's dressed up like a Ken doll. Like, it looks like he has a wig on that Ken will wear. His face is completely covered in foundation. His eyes have the most darkest eyeliner, and he's just look at my eyes, like, what in the ham sandwich ham hock is going on? He looked like a toy. Like, he looked like a Ken doll. And then on top of that, when he spoke, his face was stiff. Like, but whatever. But like, literally, he's like, "Hi, how are you? See how my glasses are? Imagine my glasses are just this." And I'm, "Hey, how are you? Is Chewie there? No, he left here. He should have been there. What's going on?" It was just nuts. All right, and scary faces aside, after he goes through that, R2D2, of course, breaks stuff because that's what the droids do. They just break everything. And R2, and then they go to the next thing. So then, Ollie, they tune into a shopkeeper's place with stuff right in. They have a convo with him, but there's an Imperial there. And the guy and the human shopkeeper is on the Wookiee, like, I guess, landline for the visuals. But, like, it's like they're in the TVs where everything else you've always seen the holograms. All of a sudden they have the TV talking thing. And he's pushing this thing that, okay, this was also cool. He had this portable fish tank. It was about this big. And the fish were fitting, and it was, like, enough that the fish could fit in there. I was like, I would love to have that. It looked like a full fish tank like that. And then, of course, the Imperial hates fish because he's an Imperial. But I do want one. But then he does this code where he says, "Oh, a guy has his Han, and he's going to work on this solo. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge." I'm like, what? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, then as they're going, you got Vader, who he goes, "I want you to find them and check all the houses while he's walking," which still look like stock footage, just like he did a voiceover. And I'm like, okay, thanks for the check-in, Vader. Guess you got your check. Go home. So, under the death threat of Imperial Doom, especially with the Imperials kind of surrounding the area, and I'm like, okay, Vader about to do some things. Yeah. All right, this is about to pick up. Yes. It goes to the cooking show. Now, Harvey Korman worked overtime on this chef commando thing. And it was just doing stir, stir, whip, whip, stir, whip, stir, 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 stir. And honestly, he just owns it. And it was like a fun part because it was so weird. He's like, stir, whip, whip, or he's like, stir, 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 whip, stir, woo! He just starts going nuts with it. And then brings out a third hand and goes for this gugok pie, whatever. He goes, smash, whip, whip, stir, smash, whip, whip, stir, smash. And I'm like, wait, you got 3 arms. Chewie, Mario here only has 2. Okay, whatever. Then he goes to the beat, and I'm like, okay, you're just kind of going with it. And then it just goes on and on for like 5 minutes. It's funny at first. After a while, it's like, okay, do something. And it's Banta stew. And as they're making a Banta stew, then a 4th arm came out when she's about to turn off TV. She's just eating. Whip, whip, stuff. Woo, it can be fun. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you stay too long in that joke. So then Mala in the middle just turns it off. And then you realize Mala wasn't even done the cooking show because they were like, we got to do the next step. And she just, I guess the food was just done. Then you jump back to the Millennium Falcon. They jump into, when they hyperspace, they jump into Imperial space. And he's like, it was kind of like an escort mission in a video game. But then he's like, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. Oh, I should have known. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to a place and they're looking for you guys. You guys are part of the rebels, and you just blew up the Death Star. But sure, okay. You thought it was going to be easy. Then they go with they put the planet under quarantine. No ships are allowed in or out. They lock it down. There's a door knock, and the shopkeep's there, and he delivers a package. Like, he delivers packages. He gives them like life day packages. So the kid gets something, because you know that's going to be important later. The mom gets something. You know what? Screw that. I need to get to this part because this is so screwed up. Okay, so Itchy, Chewbacca's dad, gets this thing where the shopkeeper goes, "Wow." Like, he's like, it's this thing. It's like a harness. It's kind of like a hairdryer thing, and you put the thing on, and it's like, he's like, it does this. Wow, if you know what I mean. And I'm like, what do you mean, if you know what I mean? So all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you know, ha 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 ha. Like, he couldn't say it. So then he puts the thing on, and I'm like, where is this going? Because he shakes his hand like this. Then you have this thing come up. First, it looks legit. This looks like sperm. It's flying in this thing. You see the screen, and all of a sudden, then it goes, oh yes, I can feel my creation. And it's this like woman that she looks like the lady from The Protector or the lady from Castle Grayskull, except black with less feathers. Like, she's ready to take off the clothes and say, come on in, He-Man. It gets creepy. She's like, and I'm getting your message. Are you getting mine? Ooh, we're excited. Just relax. Are you having to bang bang? Now, here's what I have. I have many questions. My first question is, why is the Wookiee fantasy a black version of the lady from Castle Grayskull? Over entertainment, right? So then she's singing a song about fleeting love. By the way, this song is like 4 or 5 minutes, and she's like, we only have a minute. But then you start to notice something. It's in the Wookiee's face, and his lips going, and you realize they're doing close up here, and you don't see his hands. And she's doing all this stuff, and she looked good, but it was all creepy. Because it was like, you got the Wookiee here, he's dreaming of this specific lady, whatever the fantasy is, she's like half naked in this dress. Not like naked in the sense of lingerie, but half like as if she like, that dress had more pieces. And she's singing to him and stuff, and he's just, and it's like closing up, and you see his eyes, and I'm like, no. Who okayed this? Did Lucas, did you okay this? Did you okay the Wookiee having a porn? Jeez. So then it jumps to Leia and C-3PO. Remember, he was in this. So then it translates to about Happy Life Day, which from what I heard, Carrie Fisher just started popping those pills by this point. Because you needed to have something to go on in this. And I'm not joking. Like, I think that's when they said that she started this. But you got C-3PO, the most dedicated actor in Star Wars. Lego movie, but he is also in this one. Now, I love Carrie Fisher. I think that woman was beautiful. I think she was beautiful up to the day she passed. So this beautiful woman, Carrie Fisher, states, it'll be okay. Chewie's on the way. And then you see it cuts through Chewie and Han. They're almost there through the Imperial blockade. They go north. We win. So he's like, go. And he's like, yeah, we have to go and do a walk. And you realize they have to go to the north side of the planet because it's the only opening that they have. That means they got to do this walk all the way there, which is insane in itself. Because think about it. It's like you saying, all right, well, I got to do 15 minutes in the car. If you do 15 minutes in the car and you do 15 minutes of a walk, there is a huge gap in distance. So imagine a spaceship. So the family hears a ship land. They knock, and they're looking at Chewie. You can tell, nope, it's stormtroopers and Imperials, and it goes to the commercial break. This is also just like a random variety show. Just these, literally how I'm saying it to you is how it's happening. It's like boom, 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 and I'm actually saying it more concise and more consistent than even the movie your holiday special is. So then they go, so are you rebels? The house newly and slowly, right? So this is how they're searching. Now you've seen movies and stuff where they search for stuff. This is how they're searching. for like minutes at a time, to the point you're like, do something, do something, do something. And also, you asked, were they a part of it? Of course, they're going to tell you no. So, the shopkeeper's trying to do something because they want to use her gift or whatever. She has it sitting on the table, and the shopkeeper is like trying to mess with it, but then he's acting like he's killing a bug, and he like slaps the bug and does the thing, and he's trying to distract him for some weird reason, and it's like moving forward. I don't know. It was kind of funny in the sense that the guy did it. It was interesting, but it wasn't good. It was just like, and I'm like, okay, that's a little goofy for a little moment. So then you go on to this hollow technical difficulty. All right, where was I? So whatever, they're on the planet, right? And you see, they find Boba Fett riding a dino, and yes, this is the first appearance of Boba Fett and probably one of his best appearances ever. Now, I know what you're saying. Hear me out. Boba has a lot of dialogue. He explains to Luke about the space dinos. Then he pulls fighting the Empire, me too kind of thing. He plays a little trickery. He does some stuff. You see him actually formulate a plan. Then you get to this thing he has as a coma jewel. Yeah, I'm calling it that. And you stay alive by hanging upside down so blood can get to your brain. Cartoon Boba was actually pretty cool. The kid screams after there's a commercial because he's doing something after the cartoon. He's doing something else. Oh, I'm sorry. The kid screams in excitement. Whatever. So they do this pocket via so the droids find out his true intention because they tripped over a wire. They gave him a thing when he's talking to Vader. Boba found he did the thing to Luke. Can't understand him. R2-D2 rubber. The animation starts really getting wonky as Han and Luke wake up. After the situation, Boba's like, okay, pulls out his gun. He seems like he does, and he goes, nope, I'm out, and he just flies away. Which still was dumb because I'm like, you could have did a really cool quick fight scene or something. Now, people are probably wondering why I'm saying this about Boba. Here's why. Boba didn't do anything besides die dumb in the movies. He did a little thing here or there. He really didn't. Everyone's like, oh, Boba's so cool. Boba's so cool. Yeah, he looks cool. He like did next to nothing. You heard stories about him. He did nothing. At least this, he did something. Oh, I did this thing. And it's like he says like a couple lines and people can argue with me. No, Boba was useless. Boba's whole point was to fall into the butthole of the freaking planet. That Snarlack pit. In a dumb way at that. Now you go back to Lumpy. Yay, they ripped the kids' room apart still. It was Lumpy. Okay. Now he has this instructional on his toy with Harvey now acting as a robot, like doing this thing where he goes, da, 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 da. Ouch. Yeah. Now, he goes through the entire tutorial of fixing his toy. The entire tutorial. It's insane. And here's what's so dumb. He got so bored because it was so boring that he started to die. And it was actually because it was that bad. Yes, because it was that bad. It was that boring. It's literally like, put this piece here. And put this bag here. And this bag holds your things. And da 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 da. And I'm like, why are you having the entire instructions? Anyway. Whatever. So, then they go to this thing where all of a sudden the Empire's like, well, you have to watch this as a required thing, and it was like stories of Tatooine. So, enter B. Author. And I went, wait, B. Author? Oh, no, they got you too. Which, of course, Harvey was in this as well. Now, this was required to watch by the Empire. The call with the Imperial curfew. But okay, so they care. She's like, sure, shutting us down. She gives them all around, but they're like, you care about that? Sure. There's a giant rat in there. Greedo's in there. She has to send folks home song, and then she has a robo bouncer. But what I have to admit, it was out of everything, it was kind of nice, and I think the movie would have been better if they would have just followed the barkeeper story and had them come in there. B actually didn't have a bad voice. Actually, I thought she did a good job with the song. She looked nice. It fit, and actually, I did kind of feel sad. Like it actually drew you in a little bit because she was really sad. She had to send these patrons home because of what was going on. And then when you're finally kind of getting the feels, boom, it just jumps right in. And I'm like, here we go again. All the soldiers come back, but not you, Stormtrooper, because this thing says it. So the guy goes, defy the orders of what the Empire says, and you stay here because defy the orders. You find out the kid did it. Then Chewie shows up when the Imperial guy, the Stormtrooper wants to kill his kid, does absolutely nothing as a Wookiee. The Wookiees could have taken this guy out by themselves. There's 3 of them, 1 of him. They're inhumanly powerful. They rip off limbs like they're nothing. But what does Chewie do? He does nada. Actually, none of the Wookiees do anything. They just pull him away, and Han saves the day. Now, wait. You would think Han's going to do the smackdown, right? Nope. He stopped fakes when the gun drops. He goes... Which I'm like, why does Han and them keep having these weird accidents in these movies? And the guy falls to his death, and I'm like, okay. So somehow he tripped over his gun and logs and fell to his death. But sure. Because you're going to be able to also tell the Empire that off, but whatever. And I guess that was the only stunt they could afford, so that's why they did it. And then Han tells pretty much the family how they're his hairy family, and they have this quiet moment where he's trying to emote emotion, and it's just like, what is going on? Then Life Day. They all end up in red robes with glowing balls. Then they walk to this thing, and it's like they go into another dimension that sends them to this portal with a tree of life, and Carrie Fisher is there singing some final song, and I'm like, wait, why is she leading Life Day? Then I'm like, also, how did everyone get there? So Luke was there, Leia was there, all the original crew, the robots or the droids, everybody, right? Then it makes me wonder, if you guys have a piece of technology or whatever this is, where you could have just teleported to Life Day, Chewbacca, why didn't you just use that to teleport to Life Day? Why do you have to go home to teleport to Life Day? If this thing just transports you there anyway, and then you get magical red robes. So you guys flew all the way across the galaxy into Imperial stuff. Then you had to walk for probably a couple hundred miles, even though you got there in the span of a day. Even though I can guarantee you the north side of the thing, even if you were close, would still have taken you longer than this. With all the other variety crap that was on, because there was other junk. So then my next question comes through, and I'm like, what is Life Day? Like, no one's even explaining this. Oh God. Then you turn around and it turns into this, well, we have to respect life and love life. And I'm like, okay, but where's the basis of this? Like, you're saying this life thing, but you guys take out people all the time. And even on Life Day, you took out a stormtrooper. What's the basis around this? You all are holding orbs, but you say Life Day presents, but the guy gave them presents, but then the rest of them didn't give presents to anybody. And then when everyone came there, no one had presents. And then you had the Leia there, and I'm like, wait, so you're not giving presents? Does the guy give presents because that's all he could do? What is going on with Life Day? What is Life Day? So you're saying it respects all life. Well, I could say the Thanksgiving does that too. That doesn't mean it does. What? Then something comes to mind. Jabba puts Leia in a slave outfit. And then I'm thinking, wait, Wookiee human fantasy, alien fantasy, are humans just the most desirable thing in this universe? Then you got, and on the cartoon show, C-3PO blinks. So it's like every time they're in a cartoon, they blink, and R2-D2's jelly again. Also, the long instruction, this life on Tatooine, Harvey Korman, the love with the bartender, I just didn't understand. You know what? Reflecting, like I said, Beathard's part was the only thing. It's very hard to sit through this. It zaps your energy. You can go get up and get snacks and stuff, come back, and you'll still be on the same scene. I know some. I actually made fish and I was cooking on the grill, and I pulled out the season. As I came back, I was still in the same scene. This movie is ridiculously bad. It is hot, 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 hot trash garbage. It is the worst Star Wars movie that's ever been. Anybody who says whether Phantom Menace, the new trilogy, or anything to go, this is the worst Star Wars movie ever did. You know what you're gonna do? Right then and there, I'm gonna go to YouTube and play the holiday special, and then you come back and tell me it's the worst Star Wars. Don't tell me it's not canon, because they already said it doesn't matter, because it's canon, because I said it's canon. So now you want to go see that. You got Wookiee sitting here doing all these noises. You got Wookiee having relations with himself. You got stuff going on, don't know. You got Han doing a pump fake instead of punching the guy. He literally smacks the gun out of his hand. I'm like, punch him. Nope, he's just gonna fall. Okay. Then you got the it was like a variety show of just ridiculousness. I'm like, who signed off on this and thought this was a cohesive idea? And then you force these actors to do this. This was horrible. The 15 minutes of Wookiees, and by the way, just when you thought you couldn't take any more Wookiees, they all were together, and then they all started in one unison, and I'm like, oh my god, they're singing with her. Why are they singing? And why do you have this piece of teleport technology? So why did you do this whole thing to go home when you could have just used the technology and met up with your family there? Because apparently, I'm assuming that afterwards you can just go back to where you go to, and also too, if Han and him were there, it didn't even show them like open a portal. It just, and they're at the portal thing. They're walking through this thing of light with other Wookiees, and it's like, wait, are you guys in the outer space? Now I think they walked through. Here's my logic brain. I think they walked through the time and space thing. So if you go and watch Star Wars Rebels, there is a thing that Ezra does where he actually goes into this place that's the outside of time and space. I think it's happened before. It's like the in-between. It's not where the Force is. Like, the Force is here. I know the Valley of the Jedi. It's like an in-between where literally everything converges. So it's like an outer part of the Force that controls time and space. Whatever. This movie is just horrible. I just read through that. It's hard to sit through. It is hard to watch. It is literally one of the worst films I've ever watched in my life. And I'm pretty forgiving on some films. The 3 things I gave this film was to try to do it. And they still screwed up those 3 things. Be Author was probably the most heartfelt part of it. And I got the best, at least to this date, probably the best version of Boba. Where I was like, oh, Boba actually is kind of cool. And he doesn't just look cool and stand there. He actually does something. He's actually conniving. Now, I know the extended universe, all that stuff. No, we're talking about the movies and what it was at that time. And at that time, the extended universe did not exist. So that was the first time you saw Boba. And that was Boba Fett. So no. You take the L. This movie takes the L. I'm done. How Yoda, you're trying to give me the power. You're trying to give me the power. It's just not enough. I can't. I even have the dark sunglasses because the pain that would come through my eyes would sear your soul of how much pain it was to watch this movie again. And I actually forgot I seen this thing before. It's been burning my brain for days. I watched this thing a while ago, and I'm shooting this now, and I've been talking about this movie for days. I actually remember this movie scene by scene. I just use these to kind of give me a organization so I can go down it. Oh no, I can tell you the movie from start to finish. That's how bad it is. It's so bad, it actually hurt me. It physically hurt me to watch this movie. I had a headache. I suffered a migraine from this movie. Look, I wish I was freaking joking. I am not joking. It actually physically hurt me to watch this film. My ears hurt. My eyes hurt. You know what? It's over. I'm moving on to the next one. I can't do this anymore. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. I don't even remember what the next movie is. What is it? Empire Strikes Back? Yeah. I definitely need Empire Strikes Back in my life right now. Just go watch this once. I want you to hurt yourself like you hurt me. It's so bad. I can't. I'm done. All right. Yo, stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. I love you guys. Thank you for bumping with me. Hey, thank you for visiting my channel. This is the Geek Protagonist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, it'll really help me out in the channel if you actually share these videos, if you like what I'm doing. Please hit that bell notification. Hit it, click. This way you won't miss any of my videos. Also, there's a thing on there that says personal and all. Hit the all. This way you'll get them every time for the notifications. I'm trying to, grow, trying to do commentary about what's going on. And I want to thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. This is the Geek Protagonist. I'm out, and I'll see you.